Hello and welcome to the Reapers. It's just Cap today. Just a quick video I wanted to do. I wanted to do this for a while because I've known about this phenomenon and I've had a few problems with it myself, but now's a great time to highlight it. It's regarding safety concerns when using Fox-3 missiles. So what is a Fox-3 missile? Well, it's a missile, an air-to-air missile that you fire from your mothership. It guides for several miles, communicating on instructions. It works on instructions from the mothership's radar via radio signals. At some point then, a predetermined point, it turns off its radio receiver and stops taking orders from the mothership, and then it turns on its own internal radar and avionics and searches for a target itself. At that point, it's what you call it's going pitbull. A missile's gone pitbull because you no longer have any control over it. You can't cancel it. It's completely on its own, making its own decisions. This is what we call a fire and forget weapon. So once it's gone pitbull like that, the mothership can then turn away and run away, get safe, and this missile will carry on attacking enemies. Now that's great, but it also has a downside. As we saw yesterday, we had two friendly fires from Tony. And he's got some stick about it. It's not really his fault, so I thought we'd go through it to show you what happened, why it happened, and how we can stop it happening again. So this is a cutscene from when the red dots are hostile missiles, cruise missiles, and the blue dots, the blue flags are us, and you can see our names. So let's play it through and see what happens. So we're really concentrating on Ello here, who got a shot, and Tony here at the back.
Buick Lead has a lock on a missile.
So that was Buick Lead, that was Tony. He's saying he's got a lock on a missile, and you can see it's going to be this one here, about 10 miles away, directly in front of him, to the west. And what happens next?
Sabre 3, Fox 1.
Sabre 3, Fox 1. That Sabre 3 is Shifty, that's the guy here. He's just sent this Fox 1 out. Fox 1 is something different. It's not a fully active missile. Fox 1 requires you to keep full... basically, Fox 1 uses the mothership's radar all of the time until the impact, which means the mothership cannot turn away, but it has the bonus of that you can cancel the missile and recall it if you decide you don't want it active anymore. So I'm going to switch to a 3D view now, I think, of Shifty, and we can see this missile going in.
Next lead. Buick Lead, Fox 2.
Stop it there. So we can see Shifty's missiles out here and about to hit the cruise missile. Just before it hits the cruise missile, I heard Tony there saying Fox 2. He got that wrong. He meant to say Fox 3, obviously. So Tony, in the background, 5 miles behind, has just put a Fox 3 in the air right now.
Fox 2.
Now what you saw there was Shifty's missile impacting the cruise missile here and destroying it, which is great. Now the only problem is we now have a live Fox 3 in the area, which is that dot. It's just next to King. Well, I thought King shot it, but it actually came from Tony. So let's play it forward now, see what happens when we've got this live Fox 3 that thinks that cruise missile is still there, even though it's actually been destroyed, and we'll see what happens.
Splash.
Spikes.
There. So what we heard is, in the background, we heard Shifty's warning receiver going off to say that it's something's locking onto him, and he's saying spike. And that's excellent. That's exactly what we should be doing. He's warning that a friend or a hostile has got a lock on him. So who could be getting a lock on him? Well, none of these guys are all experienced pilots. No one's going to lock a friend by accident. So what's actually happened is, in that second or so, Tony's Fox 3 here has cut communications with Tony's mothership here, and it's now guiding itself. It's now gone pitbull, it's turned its own radar on, and this missile, Fox 3, cannot determine between friend or foe. It just attacks anything it sees in front of it, which is why it's called a pitbull. So it's turned on its own radar, and it's putting a beam of about 20 degrees, I think, in front of it, and locking everything up. And you heard Shifty was the one that just happened to call it in. In fact, it would have locked all of these guys here. It's running the maths, and it's decided that Ello is the closest thing to it, and it wants to go and kill Elo. So we watch what happens next.
Right.
Elo move, I think that's friendly. So you can hear I'm doing the Overwatch here, and I can see from my experience that this is going to be trouble. So I'm telling Elo he's got to get out because he's probably going to be the pitbull target. If I on you, Elo, flare and turn. Yeah, King, careful, you shot at Elo.
Negative, haven't shot.
And boom. Obviously, because it was such a small distance, it was about 10 miles or so, that Fox-3 missile is still on its primary burner, so there's literally really nothing you can do to avoid it at that point. It's a dead man once the pitbull's in the air at that range. And that's the end of the problem. So what happened there? Tony shot at the correct target. Unfortunately, the target, just before his missile went pitbull, the target was destroyed. So then Tony's missile went pitbull and went for the nearest thing it could see in front of it, which was Elo, and then he was dead basically from that point on. It happened again later on in the mission, very similar. Tony shot a medium-range Fox-3 at a cruise missile where we had, I can't remember, someone else, Shifty I think, near them. This time the cruise missile didn't get shot down, but what happened was, just as the missile, the Fox-3 was going pitbull, it reached an angle where its own radar, which is smaller than the mothership radar, couldn't see the cruise missile. So as soon as it went pitbull, it could no longer see the cruise missile, so it just looked for the first thing it could find that it could see, which happened to be a friend, which was Shifty, and then it shot him down. It was energy high, and there's nothing that Shifty can do at that point. So very similar situation. So what do we learn from this? Well, what we learn is, if we have a target and we have, and I learned this a long time ago from shooting my own guys down by accident, if you have a target and a friend very close to that target, let's say you've got a hostile and a friend dogfighting and you're approaching them, then you can't use Fox-3s, because there's a damn good chance that Fox-3 is going to go pitbull and go for your guy. Almost as much chance as it is going to go for the hostile. So the lesson to learn here for everyone is, if you're going to be flying an Eagle or something that carries Fox-3s, and your target is near friends, then you must not use the Fox-3, you must use a Fox-2 or guns, or just stay out of the match. It's just a fault with that type of missile, which I think is why the Russians don't like to use it, because of friendly fire incidents before. So anyway, hopefully that'll help, and good luck.